It's NRL picking time for round 17. Let's try and get them all correct. Fat chance of that. But first, let's look back at round 16 and see how we did. We did start off very, very well because on Friday it was Dolphins versus Storm, and Storm, top of the league, they won by 6, and I got spot on. So I think that does get me a match point, which is about 0.75 extra. I will take that all day long. A high scoring game here. Really could have been anyone's, but Storm definitely showed their quality. Next, it didn't go so well because, wow, just look at that. Look at that score. On Saturday, it was Titans versus Warriors. Granted, Warriors are not necessarily the best team in the league, but they are better than the Titans on paper. But the Titans, 66-6. 666. Yes, the sign of the devil. The devil has been at work here because what the hell is that score? No one got close, obviously. But there were people that got the Titans to win. So well done if you picked the Titans. But that is crazy. Just mind blown there. Well done, Titans. It's not really going to help you unless you just win every game from now on. But incredible. I'm speechless, to be honest. Next. Roosters versus Bulldogs. And I picked correctly. Annoyingly, I was 1 point off a close score. I did Roosters by 12. They actually won by 18. So well done to the Roosters. I get 1 point for the result, and that is it. A few people did get a close score, so well done to you. Next, Rabbitohs. They are hitting form now. Rabbitohs versus Sea Eagles. Incredibly, Sea Eagles with a big fat 0. That is embarrassing. That is embarrassing. But you can see the shift now towards Rabbitohs. They are really, really hitting form. And annoyingly, I didn't get it close. Gutted. I did them by 6. They actually won by 14. So at least I get that 1 point. Next, another huge score. What the hell is going on? You get 66 for the Titans. And now West Tigers win by 24 with a 48-point score line. I did Raiders by 6. That was a mistake because West Tigers hammered them. As of round 16, here is our league table with Corbajal still at the top, just because Aussie Tash has gone up 1 place and is chasing Corbajal. Well done, Aussie Tash. St. Jai has gone down 1. It's very, very tight still. Anything can happen. Let's look at some movers. Ajubi and VamH have gone up 5 places. AU Beach Bum down 3. Down 5 is Otis. The golden hat goes to Kazaraza, up 5. Well done. Where am I? Ooh, Stormy May down 8. That's painful. I'm stayed the same. I have hang on, how many points am I off? 81.33. 90. Oh, I'm never going to make top, am I? I could still make the top 10. I just need some really, really solid weeks with correct scores. Let's see where everyone else is. Little bit of movement down here. The wooden spoon in 44th place goes to NRL Super King. And here we are with 63 people in the group. Interesting. There's still hope for me to reach the top 10. On to round 17 then. And we start on Friday the 28th at Stadium Australia. It is Bulldogs versus Sharks. Sharks, I know they're still in 3rd place, but they really need to start finding their form again. Now, I think on paper, they are technically the stronger team to Bulldogs. They've got Nico Hines back. Because he didn't make it in the Origin, so that's good for them as well. So they should have enough to beat the Bulldogs. But because of their inconsistency at the moment, I'm not going to go with a really strong win, but I'm going to go with a 6-point win for the Sharks. I think that's fair, taking into account how they're doing at the moment. And Bulldogs, you know, they've won 3 in the last 4. They certainly could cause an upset here for sure. Next up is Saturday 29th, Go Media Stadium in Auckland. Now, obviously, Warriors, that was embarrassing last week. That was just embarrassing. 66-6 against Titans. What the hell? That was embarrassing to say the least. Well, I'm pretty sure it's one of the worst losses, or one of the best victories in NRL history. That is what I'm going to assume. Will they bounce back against the Broncos, who are also now struggling with 3 losses, thinking they were pushing up and then hit a brick wall pretty much. This is not an easy one. But considering it's over in Auckland, so Brisbane have to travel, I'm going to go with a Warriors win, because I think it's going to give them a kick up the arse after that loss. So I'm going to go a tight win again, Warriors by 6. But this league has been fascinating so far. Yes, the best teams are rising to the top, but there have been some serious shock results, and you don't know when they're coming. That is the main thing. You don't know when they're coming, and it is catching out a lot of people. Next up then, McDonald Jones Stadium in Newcastle, Knights versus Eels. Both teams, again, on really poor form. Eels especially, they're bottom of the table. But Knights lost their last 3 games, and they are struggling as well. Both teams, 13th and 17th. It's not looking good for either team, really, is it? And so there's very little splitting these teams, really. It's difficult. I think you have to go with Knights on paper. They're at home. They're the favourites. Their form is technically better than the Eels, and I just think the Eels are in too much of a rut here to get the win. So let's go another tight one. Let's do another tight one. 6 points win for the Knights. Not easy to call. Not easy to call at all. Next up at AAMI Park in Melbourne, Storm versus Raiders. Raiders, also a really bad loss last week. A really, really bad loss last week. Whereas Storm doing well. They have pushed to the top of the table. They are looking pretty convincing. And they are able to beat teams well. Raiders have not shown enough consistency. That's a big problem with them. Whereas Storm, you're normally going to get a performance. They're certainly a more consistent team. So I'm going to go with Storm. They are massively favourites. I'm going to go do Storm by 18. 3 tries, 3 conversions, and fingers crossed they will win. I would prefer it if they didn't win, actually, thinking Panthers want to overtake them. So, but we'll see. They should win the way that Raiders have been playing, especially recently. Next up on Sunday at Nostrata Jubilee Stadium is Dragons versus Dolphins. Similar form once again from both teams. Dragons currently in 10th. Dolphins are in 5th. There is only 2 points separating them. This table is so tight. It is ridiculous. So, what do we think here? This is not an easy one to call. Dolphins, I know they're not necessarily getting the results, but they are playing pretty good. I was about to say pretty good football. I am not calling it football because it is league. They're playing pretty well. And they've been fairly solid in 5th place. You can't fault them for that. Dolphins do have some Origin players returning as well. So hopefully they're fit, and that will give them enough to get that victory. So let's go with the Dolphins win. A tight one. Let's go by 4. Oh, I almost did Dragons then. And watch now, the Dragons win by 4. I'm going Dolphins by 4. Next up then at the Bluebet Stadium in Penrith. Okay. Panthers versus Cowboys. Panthers, obviously, my team, sitting in 2nd on 20 points. Form pretty good, similar to the Storm, to be honest. Cowboys, they're on pretty good form as well, also in 6th place. I've got to go with the talent of Panthers, really, haven't I? I really do. I think the Cowboys, they're starting to play with a little bit more urgency, which yeah, I think that's good for them. I think But it's one of these things where they're playing with more urgency. It could be good or it could be bad. It could be easy to exploit, especially with a team like Panthers who could counter that fairly well. So we will see with that. But I think Panthers have too much quality in their team here. So I'm going to go with the Panthers win. And guess what? Let's do it by 6 again, shall we? Panthers by 6. A 6-6-6. We're loving 6s at the moment. Next up, and the last game, Allianz Stadium, it is Roosters versus West Tigers. Now, Roosters sitting in 4th. Their form exactly the same as Panthers. West Tigers had one of the best wins. They had a fantastic win last week. But surely they're not going to beat Roosters. Raiders were on bad form. Roosters are not. I just can't. I know Tigers have won the last 2, but I can't see Tigers winning against Roosters, who are performing well at the Allianz. Not easy. The thing is, Tigers could get the win here. This is crazy that this is actually a difficult one to call, but I have to go with Roosters. Their form quality is there. So I'm going... Let's go a 12-point win to the Roosters. So to summarise my picks for the week, we've gone Sharks by 6, Warriors by 6, Knights by 6, Storm a big win by 18, Dolphins by 4, Panthers by 6, and finally Roosters by 12. There are a few that are difficult to call there. Roosters, West Tigers, amazingly, considering it's 4th versus 16th. How is that a tough one to call? But West Tigers' last 2 results have been pretty decent. But Roosters should come out on top. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. What a crazy season it is. Like, the fact that between 14th and 4th is only 8 points. Like, that's nothing. Absolutely nothing. So it's still all to play for to reach the finals. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to support the channel, the basic thing you can do is like and subscribe. And if you want some of our awesome merchandise, go to asweare.space to check out some cool designs that I say so myself. Make sure you join me next week.